Hi, my name is Linnea Tucker, and I want to tell you why I can't live without my Inner-Right pad. I work over at Bear Branch Junior High. I'm an 8th grade math teacher. I teach on-level, I teach pre-AP Algebra 1, and I teach pre-AP Geometry. And I can't live without my Inner-Right pad. So let me show you why. All right, I am going to switch over to the internet. And first of all, if you want to learn how the Inner-Right pad works, there is this great little getting started guide. I just Googled Inner-Right pad instructions, and then this pops up. And so you open that up, and it's a really great starter guide. And I believe I've worked through all of this. When I got my Inner-Right pad, I didn't know anything about it. So I opened up and there wasn't any really good instructions with it. So I went to the internet, and that's how I started getting used to working with my Inner-Right pad. So if you want to learn more about the Inner-Right pad itself and how to work it, this is your resource. You can also call me, send me an email, and I can probably help you out. So anyway, once I got used to using my Inner-Right pad, one of the first things that I did with it was I set up files for the lessons that I was teaching in my algebra classes, and I want to show you how I did that. Here is our online textbook for both algebra and geometry. So I'm going to go to my online textbook. And I'm going to pick a lesson. Let's see, today we did 6-5. So I'm going to go to that lesson, and I'm going to go over to the practice pages that I assigned my students for tonight for their homework right here. So I'm going to blow up that page. And the first thing I do with my Inner-Right pad is right now I'm in mouse mode. I switch over to the Inner-Right pad mode, and I write down what the assignment was. So it was lesson 6-5 on page, I don't remember what the page was. Let's say it was 419. And let's say I want to have them do numbers 2 through 40 evens. Okay, this is the start of my file. So now once I've got it started, I'm going to come back over here to my toolbar, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to hit File and Save As. And since I've already got a 6-4 in here, I'm just going to call this 6-4 delete. Delete me later. That's what I'm going to call that. And I actually do have this set up. Here is my iDrive. If I go to my iDrive, I created a directory or folder called Inner-Right Saved Files, and I put it under Algebra, and this is Chapter 6, so I give it a place to park this file. And I always park my Inner-Right files in a file called Inner-Right. So now that's been saved. So I'm going to switch back over. This is your mouse button. Right now I'm in Inner-Right pad mode. I'm going to switch back over to mouse mode. And now I'm in mouse mode. So the next thing I like to do is I take a copy of that textbook page, but I want to leave myself enough room to write below it for working out problems. So I'm going to use this button right here. See this button right here? It's called Capture. I'm going to hit Capture, and I want to capture a part of the page. So let's say I want to capture this piece right here, which is the first 8 problems in the textbook. And I'm going to grab this handle right here, and I'm going to make it bigger. All right? So that gives me the first 8 problems, which I can later project up there on the screen, and I've got myself a workspace down here. So I'm going to go back to mouse mode. I'm going to catch some more problems. I'm going to start with 9 and go down to 11. And I'm going to adjust the size so I can read it. Still have myself some workspace down here. And I move my way through the textbook, doing this, just capturing pieces of the page. And let me do the bottom section here. I'm going to capture these 2 down here. Make it a little bit bigger. And normally what I would do is then go on to the next page. So let's say that I'm done capturing all of those pages. I'm going to go in here and I am going to finish saving. It's all been saved. And you can see each one of those pages if you go over here to the page sorter. Here's all of the pages that I just created. And you can jump to a specific page if you want to. I can start at the top. I can jump to this page just using my page sorter. All right? So I'm going to close this file out. I'm going to go and close her out and then minimize this. And let's say this is the next day. My classes come in. I'm ready to go over any questions that they have. I'm going to go in and open up that file. And it was this one right here. And there it is. My kids tell me what problems they want to go over. I'll go over 3 or 4 of them with them, whichever ones seem to be requested the most. And then I can just arrow through. Let's see, they said they wanted to do 16. Well, I didn't go up to 16. Let's say they wanted to do 8. Then I can arrow over and then I can work problem number 8 with them on the board. Then at the end of this file, I'm also going to have a copy of the answer key. And I pull up this file with every algebra class that I have. It is such a time saver. These files that I'm using with my algebra students today, I created them probably 6 years ago. So that's one of the things that's really nice about your Inner-Right Pad. Now here's another thing that you can do with your Inner-Right Pad. Let's say let's say I want to work this problem right here, and it's rather long. Let's pretend like it's long and tedious. What I can do is I can show the first step. Okay, it says tell whether the ordered pair is a solution of the given inequality. What I can do is I can take this step at a time. So I don't have to repeat this every time I open up the file. I can make a duplicate page of this. I'm going to hit duplicate page, and it looks like nothing has changed. But if I go into page sorter, you can see right here and right here I have identical pages. So I'm going to go into the second page. You can also use your arrow keys. See how I've created an identical page there? Right here, I want to now maybe show the kids that I'm inserting the points. So I'm going to take a y of 0, plug that in, put in 2 for my x, make a duplicate page. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the math. Duplicate page. And then I would ask my kids, is 0 greater than -6? Yes, it is, and that is true. So if I save that into my file, File, Save, you can also save down here. Save down here. Let me go back to the beginning. I'm going to go back to my page sorter. And let me show you what that did. The kids want to go over question 8. There's question 8, and I've got it started for them. And I'm just going to arrow through this. And I don't have to rewrite that same thing every time. I wouldn't do that on a problem like this. I'll show you another problem that I would do this kind of thing on. All right? So that's one of the ways I use my Inner-Right Pad. I'll show you another problem here in a minute in part 2 of this video. So hold on a minute.